SMT Media Network, we are back with another video. This one here today to discuss the, I would say, embarrassing loss for the LA Lakers. They lost to the San Antonio Spurs. Losing to the Spurs is not the embarrassing part. It's how you lose the game, and it's the way that you play the game. The Lakers lost by 24 points. In and of itself, that is what makes it an embarrassing loss, not the fact that they lost to the Spurs. We're going to talk a little bit about the Spurs here, but it's also about the Lakers. So the game, 126 San Antonio, 102 for the Lakers. It's a little bit more complicated and nuanced than just that. These two teams are moving in very different directions. The San Antonio Spurs are clearly headed in a positive trend. The Lakers are a middling, below average, underachieving team. The Spurs are a young and up-and-coming team, playing disruptor across the league. I'm telling you, these teams moving in very different directions. The roster composition, the type of players they have, makes it so it's like this. All right, let me tell you guys what happened in this game. All right, the San Antonio Spurs hung tough in the first quarter. They were up by 2. Gave up a lot of points in the second quarter to what I believe is an anemic offense in the LA Lakers. You don't really have a system or a philosophy. You don't have any type of complicated wrinkles. You don't have incredible ball movement or anything like that. This is a very simple offensive team in the LA Lakers. They don't have a sophisticated, smart, dynamic coach. So you're not going to have any type of dynamic offensive schemes and sets. Really basic. So I think the Spurs settled in, right? They were down, I don't know, maybe like 9 or something at halftime. And then they kicked the Lakers' ass in the second half. The Spurs scored 36 in the third quarter and 37 in the fourth quarter. The Lakers were outscored by basically, 29 points or something, to 32 points in the second half? Something absurd. Out of the game, out of the players, with respect to individualized performances. Harrison Barnes got you 17. Chris Paul got you 13, and he sucks. Vassell got you 23. Castle got you 23. The Spurs starters did a great job. They didn't get much off the bench, but Keldon Johnson did drop 10. So you basically got a really, really good performance out of your starters. They clearly outplayed the Lakers starters. The Lakers starters, you got 30 out of Anthony Davis. It was basically Wemby versus AD. It was a pretty incredible thing between those two. A little bit of tit for tat. AD was getting his points over Wemby. Wemby was finding ways to score. I like what I saw out of Wemby because he didn't take too many threes, right? Like I said, I think his magic number for 3-point attempts is under 7, under 8. He shot 2 for 6 from 3. His plus minus was 26. The Spurs were fantastic. The turnovers were limited. I think they had 10 as a team, specifically to Wemby. He took care of the ball. He only had 1 turnover. Really nice job by the Spurs to tighten things up in the second half and take the fight to the Lakers. Now, with respect to the Lakers, you got 30 from AD. You got 9 from Rui. Bron got you 18. Austin Reeves only 12. Max Christie got you 10. Another anemic performance from the Lakers bench. Nobody really giving you much. Gabe Vincent, 7 points off the bench. Everybody else, you got 5 from Dalton Connect in 14 minutes. You really didn't get much there. And guys are playing full allotment of minutes. 30-plus minutes from every Lakers starter. Right? So, guys, I'm going to just give it to you like this. It's a really, really simple calculus. When I look at these players, right? The Lakers shot a little bit better from 3. The Spurs shot a little bit better from 3. But they shot less 3 than the Lakers. The Lakers fell in love with the 3, and they were only making like 31, 32%. Free throw discrepancy, not much, I guess, to the plus side of the Spurs. The rebounds actually went to the Spurs by 1, the rebound differential, but the offensive rebounds went plus 3 for the Lakers. The Lakers had a chance to win this game. If you look at the way they played in the first half, the trouble came with the turnovers. Guys, LeBron had 7. And usually when I watch LeBron play, they don't actually tally the turnovers properly. He may have had 8 or 9. I'll have to go back and rewatch the whole thing. But very, very commonly, I see them undershoot his turnovers. So he may have had 7 as recorded. He may have had 8 or 9. That's not good numbers. When I'm looking at the rest of his stat line, He had he had 8 assists. So let's just say he only had 7 turnovers. It's basically a 1-to-1 ratio. That is awful. You have to take care of the ball better than that. I don't care. You're the points leader. You're one of the greats. You have to take care of the ball. They turned over the ball to the point where they lost the game by double digits. When teams turn over the ball, that is an indication of a poorly coached team. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Points in the paint, the Spurs were plus 26 compared to the Lakers. So, defensively, the Spurs were more active, more aggressive. They took care of the ball better than the Lakers, and they were getting easy buckets and paint points. So really, if you think about it, a tale of two halves, the Lakers stunk. They were competitive in the first half. They actually had a very good first half, and in the second half, they pissed away the game. Awful performance from the Lakers. So if I'm being critical, I don't know how much blame I want to put on AD because he had a really stellar game. He kept the Lakers in it, able to score, but I mean, the Lakers guys, the bench is trash. LeBron is prone to these turnover-heavy games, right? I'm not even sure what. Let me see if I could take a look at something else. Sometimes I like to see what his 3-point attempts and makes were because it kind of lets me know about the shot selection. He was 2 of 3 for 3, so he was, I think, taking some good shots. Usually, you know, you look at those types of things. He was 7-11 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3-point. He was 2 of 4 from the free throw line. So it doesn't look like he was getting a lot of, you know, foul calls or anything like that. Maybe he just wasn't that aggressive. You know, his shot was falling, right? 7-11 is pretty good. I'll have to look at his shot chart, but he had a negative 15 plus minus. All the starters had a negative plus minus for the Lakers, obviously. You got their butts handed to them. Guys, this is a bad loss. You should be outclassing the Spurs, who are an inexperienced team with the exception of a guy like Chris Paul. I mean, you were up at halftime. This is a bad loss for the Lakers, but I'm not surprised. The Lakers are a faux, fake, fraudulent 20-17. They have banked on wins against horrible teams, inexperienced teams, unhealthy teams, teams with injuries. Let's take a look at the record, people. All right, so if I look at the Western Conference, the Thunder are still up top. I got the Rockets. That's the top of the class, right? And then in the next tier, you got like the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, and what I would consider, you know, kind of like Mavericks and Clippers. I think that's your middle tier, right? And then you got your play-in teams, in my opinion. And actually, the Timberwolves could kind of get some things going together. Possibly the Suns can as well. They're talented, right? Guys be healthy and all this other stuff. They might move up. The Kings are surging. They actually fired their coach, and they're coming up. And the Spurs are a competitive team. The Warriors are moving backwards. The Blazers suck. The Jazz suck. So the Lakers are currently 7th place. They're 20-17, and they're trash. They've lost 3 in a row. They can't beat any good teams. They're going to lose a lot of games the rest of the year. They don't have a competent coach who can help these guys improve defensively. Guys, they are giving up 126 points a night to like anybody. And because of the lack of dynamism, the lack of intricacy, wrinkles, folds, different looks, offensively, they can't score points to keep up with their opponents. So you have poor defense, leaky defense. LeBron is part of that problem because of his lack of effort and vigor on that end of the floor. So you've got crappy defense, perimeter, interior, paint, doesn't matter. And then you have a one-dimensional, uninspired, unintelligent offense. You can't compete. Teams that can score 120 plus points on you are going to beat you every time. You don't have what it takes to beat those teams. You can't stop the other team on the other side, and you can't score on them on the other side. The Lakers suck. Their coaching sucks. They should have kept Darvin Ham. They were more competitive under Darvin Ham. He got them to the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets just 2 years ago. This team ain't crossing the street. This team is a play-in team at best, and keep this in mind. The Lakers have been healthy. LeBron's only missed a couple of games. rest assumed. AD's only missed a couple of games, if I think maybe one or two. I'd have to go back and look. This team's generally healthy. The only guy who's been missing is Vanderbilt. And you got Lakers fans talking about how like the defense is about to improve and all this. Hell to the no. You have Anthony Davis, a generational talent, a Hall of Fame power forward / center for this era. He's going to go down as one of the greats to ever play. He can't get this team. He can't will this team to wins. So Vanderbilt's going to do it. These people are crazy. JJ Redick is a bum. He is an unproven, undeserving, lack of track record coach. If this was any other coach, they would have been fired already. Because this team is underachieving, their defense is regressing, and their offense, stale, stagnant, ineffective. This is a joke. They don't even respond to him. There's no adjustments. They get worse as the game goes on. Other teams are settling in and just pinning their ears back. Running these guys off the floor, running action, backdoor passes, cuts. They're getting whatever they want. The Lakers are trash. LeBron's not contributing to winning. And they're wasting the best years of Anthony Davis. The Lakers suck.